Erica Kirk is finished. After months of whispers, the proof just dropped, and it's nuclear. Iranian hackers just destroyed the FedStop narrative and exposed Erica Kirk. Charlie's grieving widow was a trained Mossad operative the entire time. She didn't just know her husband was going to die, she was tasked with orchestrating it, using the Mossad's favourite technique, an exploding personal device. We've seen them use pagers, cell phones and children's toys. And now, a Rode Wireless Pro mic. And now for the first time, we have the documents and the video evidence they tried to delete that prove Erica's role in the assassination of her own husband. And it doesn't end there. The entire operation is falling apart before our eyes. Crisis actors, compromised officials, and a complicit media that had foreknowledge. This is the crime of the century, and the mask is off. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. This is an urgent broadcast. We don't have time to waste, the clock is ticking. Right now, Erica Kirk is pushing for a speedy trial in Utah, a fast-track trial that could strip a man of his constitutional right to a full defense. When you see the evidence we've got lined up for you tonight, the leaks, the contradictions, the foreknowledge, you'll understand why Erica is desperate to wrap up the case in her favour without scrutiny. The truth is, the feds have a massive problem. A whole series of massive problems. And people are starting to notice. Charlie Kirk was assassinated on a giant menorah at a college known for deep state intelligence operations tied to Israel, days after announcing he had no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. Then there's the fact that Tyler Robinson was in custody and Mirandized by 6:25 p.m. on September the 11th. While the now infamous Discord messages were published between 7:57 and 8:57 p.m. on that same evening. Who the hell was writing Tyler Robinson's Discord messages roughly 90 minutes to 2 hours after he was in custody? Then, there are the crisis actors, who were recruited and trained before the event, and who had to urgently update their scripts when the assassination went off script. One witness, Sarah Toole, first told Fox 13 that she saw Charlie get shot directly in the chest with blood gushing from his heart. She was very clear about this. She repeated it twice. Just 51 minutes later, she gave another interview and completely changed her story.
So basically, I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would be a little bit louder, but I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is, and then he fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming, and then we all ran.
And did you see the person who fired the shot or anything like that?
No, I just knew that it came to the right of me and went just directly into his heart. So.
Directly in his heart. The bullet came over her right shoulder. That's what she said at 1:17 p.m. What happened in the 51 minutes between that interview and the next time she spoke to a news channel? It appears the feds got in touch with her and told her to change her story. Suddenly, she began telling the world that Charlie was hit in the neck. Her tone changed too, less casual, an edge of tension in her voice.
And then after that, they had another student step up to talk about transgenderism and the violence and gun violence that's been surrounding that recently. And that is when Charlie Kirk was shot. It was in the neck, and I watched the blood just spurt out all over his body as he slumped over and fell down. I believed that he was dead on impact, but it sounds like he is in critical condition. So big prayers going out to him, hoping that everything is okay.
She wasn't done yet. She was back later that day for an interview with ABC News. And as Candace explains, she suddenly became an expert in ballistics and forensics.
Directly to his heart, to now on the left side of his neck. But she wasn't done. Because then she went big time. She spoke to ABC News. And this time, her memory is just getting better and better. She's even able to confirm how many yards away the bullet was fired from. And it incredibly matches the distance to Losi Center. She becomes an expert in sound ballistics. Take a listen.
So I was in the fourth row in the courtyard where Charlie Kirk was. I was a little to his left, and the shooter was to my right. So, and even if you were looking at Charlie Kirk from the front, the shooter was still to the right and just got him right in the neck, blood gushing everywhere. a friend of mine and I ran into the building and ran out the building. It's like the exit pathway, and just kept running, crossing streets, like just trying to get to safety.
And so you think the shooter was to the right of you based on what you heard and what you saw?
Yes, correct. Yeah, it went right into his left side, and the shooter was from my right, and even in the middle, it was still to the right. And I'm pretty sure you had somebody say this earlier, but I think it was about 200 yards away.
It was about 200 yards. How? How did she know that? How does she now suddenly know that it hit him in the neck versus what she graphically described as it hitting him directly in the heart as she points center? What changed? In short, none of that makes any sense.
It all makes sense when you understand that Charlie was assassinated in a botched operation. And this is where the investigation becomes extremely dangerous. Last year, Iranian cyber operators breached Israeli intelligence networks and seized a massive trove of highly sensitive documents. Among them, explosive compromise, compromising material on world leaders and US politicians. Later, we discovered that Kash Patel was on that list of the compromised. This isn't speculation or rumour, it's confirmed. But it gets even worse for the compromised elites, because the documents expose incriminating details about the Kirk assassination. The plan was to blow out his chest cavity, but the exploding microphone kicked upwards, taking out his neck. This is why the FBI spent the next hours and days scrambling to cover up the details and manipulate the media narrative. According to the hack team, when the emails and intelligence sources are cross-referenced with the autopsy photos, the wound trajectory and burn patterns, and the way the tissue was ejected, there's no question. Charlie Kirk was not shot. He was killed by an exploding device. A small, high-grade explosive charge. And here's what should terrify every single one of you. This is a known Mossad speciality. They've used these kind of micro-explosives before. Surgically placed inside pages, cell phones and children's toys. Remotely detonated, leaving almost no external signature if done right. It's no coincidence, because Erica is a trained Mossad agent. Don't go anywhere. We're back with the evidence from the hacked material right after this important word from our sponsor. Let's be real. We've all been fed the lie that wrinkle creams are the ticket to looking young. I call bullshit. Dr. John Lake, a renegade beauty expert out of Beverly Hills, says that's a scam. Most of those fixes are just overpriced lotions that do nothing, or worse, mess up your skin. He says that he's done with the scammy cosmetic industry. Why? Because he wants to expose something they don't want you to know about. A 2-minute trick that's like Photoshop for your face. Wrinkles gone. Years erased. And it's so easy, you'll be pissed that you fell for their junk before. The cosmetic industry is afraid of the secret, because this could gut their racket. Lake is spilling the truth in a free video exclusively for viewers of this channel. No strings, no interruptions, just all the steps needed to do it yourself. It's already amassed over 2 million views because it actually works. People are dropping decades and the comments don't lie. You've got to see this. Visit bhmd1.com/TPV, the link's below. Don't sleep on this, because it's the real beauty secret they don't want you to know about. Visit bhmd1.com/TPV. Now, in a never-before-seen transmission, an Iranian operative explains how they hacked Mossad and gained access to Kash Patel's personal emails, and reveal more of the explosive information they're sitting on.
The documentation is explicit. Charlie Kirk's wife is a Mossad agent, not a low-level asset, a highly trained operative placed for one specific mission. She didn't just marry him, she was embedded. He was a virgin and they trained her as a honeypot to become his perfect type. That was the act, because in reality, she was running ops with Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, that monster. The same man we already know was Mossad. They pulled him out of his jail cell in a textbook Mossad extraction and quietly shipped him back to Israel. Now that was a flawless operation. Now, connect the dots. Same network, same handlers, same endgame.
He also broke down exactly how the assassination went down. A textbook Mossad operation from start to finish.